Hi, this is Michelle Lee, and you're listening to the 1002nd Album Podcast, and I'm here to tell you why you should listen to Ordinary Day by Great Big Sea.
Hi, I'm Jeff Stephen, and you're listening to the 1002nd Album Podcast. This season, we'll be talking about must-hear songs as I continue to ask people that are important to me all about the music that's important to them. Enjoy! Please welcome Michelle Lee.
Hi, thanks for having me.
And Michelle, the song of choice today is Great Big Sea's Ordinary Day. And could you tell me a bit about your Great Big Sea intro, sort of the where, the when you got into the group?
Yeah, you would think as a Canadian that I would know how and when I got into Great Big Sea, but yes, CanCon.
Newfoundland.
Newfie-con. They'd probably always been in the background somewhere, in some, bar in my early 20s. Not that I frequented them too much, Mom, but they were probably there. But this song in particular, and Great Big Sea for sure, I have my buddy Josh to thank for that. So I was living in Taiwan at the time. This would be like mid-2000s. It'd probably already been popular for like 10 years, but where was I? I don't know. I'm sorry, Great Big Sea. And this was about the time that we were getting out of CDs and into cute little MP3 players, which was perfect because in Taiwan, everyone drives mopeds and scooters and motorcycles. And it's super awkward and clunky to have a portable CD player on your lap while you're driving and trying to listen to. So, MP3 players.
Suboptimal when driving a moped.
And then, where do I put my CDs? I'm stuck with the same 24 songs, right? So, having a little MP3 player was great. So my buddy Josh, we were just the kind of instant best friends that you meet over there. He was being all fancy and upgraded to one of those iPods. You may have heard of them.
Those newfangled gadgets.
Newfangled gadgets, yes. So he was getting rid of his old one, and I said, "Can I have that?" And he's like, "Sure." And being the besties that we are, he didn't even need to ask, what should I put on it for you? He just preloaded it with his songs, and he hands it to me. I plug my earphones in, I put my helmet on, and I press play after figuring out how to press play on it. And of course, the first thing I think is, oh, great, it's broken. It's just beeping at me. Beep, 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 beep. I'm like, Josh. He's like, no, give it a second. The drums come in, and then that's it. I'm hooked. That was my intro to this song and to Great Big Sea in general. And thank goodness I'm wearing a full mask helmet because I'm just driving along like an idiot with the biggest grin on my face listening to this awesome song. So
that's
there
fantastic. And I love that you almost went to the geographical antipode, or as far away as possible from Canada to discover some Canadian content.
Yeah, and that's just it. When you're over there and you're an expat, any little taste of home it tastes that much sweeter, when you're far away.
Yeah, and I like that idea of what was the listening medium of choice when you discover something, because I think of did you see the movie on VHS or was it on DVD? And same here. And I'm pretty sure it was a friend had got the CD of Plaît, the studio album from whence it came, and either they made me a cassette or I made myself an audio cassette of it.
Audio cassette.
Because on the CD itself, it's got one of the better opening trifectas I can remember, where this song was the opening track. Then it went into When I'm Up, I Can't Get Down.
That's a bop, yeah.
And then The Night That Patty Murphy Died.
And it must be all downhill from there.
But if you start that strong, it leaves an impression for sure. So with the tune itself, with the Ordinary Day, once you're into the song, once you're cruising along on the moped in Taiwan, what is it about the song itself that stood out to you?
It's just so positive. And I was having a hard time picking the one song, and this one it does. And every time you get sad, anytime you have a bad day, right? This is the one to listen to. It's just the chorus itself, I guess, would be the big part of it. It's just an ordinary day. It's all your state of mind, and at the end of the day, you just have to say it's all right. Not to put down anyone with mental health struggles or anything like that, because we all have, if that's going on, it's pretty insulting to say to someone, it's all your state of mind. But at the end of the day, most days, it is just how you go about it. How do you navigate those feelings, and how can you just say, all right, I'm going to let this one go? And I think, being a teacher too, there's some days where it's all about the mindset and the attitude and staying positive and just saying, is anyone bleeding today? Did anyone die in my watch? No, it's okay. I've got the sun in the sky and I've got four walls around me. What more do you need, right? So, yeah.
Nice. Did we make it through? Okay, then let's try again.
Exactly.
And I think of Did you ever read the book Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good,
Loved.
Very Bad Days? And those sorts of moments of perspective of like, maybe today didn't go quite according to the script.
Right. So we can move on.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, yeah.
Right. And I mean, also, this is how cheesy I get, but like, Annie was like, I loved it so much growing up. I watched that movie probably 6,000 times, right? And The Sun Will Come Out Tomorrow was probably one of my first ever favorite songs. So here we are in the same vein of just like, today sucks, but let's be on the optimistic side. Let's be positive about this and see where we go from there. So.
Oh, nice. And this is definitely a safe place to like Annie. I've always been partial to You're Never Fully Dressed Without a Smile as well.
Such a bop.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, lyrically for sure, that definitely, that sort of positivity, but I really like how they also didn't downplay the sadness too. Yeah. Like the what's the line, in this beautiful life there's always some sorrow. So the idea that it's not just relentless positivity, but it's acknowledging the difficulties, but putting them in perspective.
Absolutely.
Well. So if that's the sort of standout lyrically, were there any sort of parts musically in the song that really
it's
jump
all
in?
good. I mean, it makes you want to get up and dance a jig, which you shouldn't do while you're riding a moped.
Yeah.
Just put that little asterisk out there. But no, it's just a fun, happy, positive song. And again, I can't believe that it was out for 10 years before I noticed it, Yes. But yeah.
And I find for me sometimes if I'm late to the party for something, there might also be that element of making up for lost time.
I think maybe that was it. Yeah. So this one has gone on every single one of my playlists. It's great. That beat is so good for running and driving and whatever you need to be doing. It's just happy and uplifting. So
I like it. So clearly here, I think we'd be in agreement that it's a pretty darn good song.
Pretty darn good song.
But if you'll excuse our language there. But what is it about it that makes it a must-hear song?
I just think we all have those days. We need to be reminded, that to look on the bright side as best as you can. And so when you're having that day, or even when you're just like, when you're running and you're struggling at my age, 3K, and you need a little bit of motivation, there it is.
I like it. And yes, that's a good point, actually. I was thinking of that. It feels like it would be good as an opening track, but I could see this being a really nice pick-me-up,
yes.
as they say at the end of the day here.
Yes.
It's funny that 3K and a 5K is always that part that needs the most of a
little
boost.
bit, or 39 at a marathon or wherever.
Yeah. Where you just need a little bit of a bump to keep going. And I think as a Canadian, like, we've been spoiled with so many dual lead singer formats as well.
And as I used to call them with my friend Josh as I was getting into the band, the grovelly guy voice or the normal guy voice. Yes. So that was what their names were. Sorry, Alan and Sean and really sorry.
And this would be the grovelly.
The grovelly guy voice, yeah.
But it's sort of maybe that's why I like it too, is that there's that contrast of the melody's so upbeat, but he brings that that depth to it, which is nice. And the one name I had to look it up today too, but they've got one, I think Great Big Sea. I think those two dudes as well. Yeah. But
there's more.
There's another guy. Have you ever got the chance to see them live in concert?
Yes.
So you know the guy that plays about 30 instruments on stage during the show. It was one of those that I feel foolish never having known his name, but I looked it up today. Bob Hallett.
I would not get that on a trivia.
But
I'm the worst fan ever of my favorite song. I'm so sorry.
But in this song, I think he plays the accordion solo partway through, and just having that sort of versatility in the group, just he brings that extra layer, which is
the multi-instrument guy.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't need names. They just need to entertain me.
Exactly, and they do a fine job
sure
of
do.
that. And I find this is one of those songs where I think even if you tried, it would be impossible to be in a bad mood while listening.
Right? Yeah.
The one that jumped to mind for me as well was Hall & Oates have the You're Making My Dreams Come True. And that idea of like, if that goes on, it's like, okay, all of a sudden, my day is improved by a measurable percentage.
Absolutely. Or the entire Shrek soundtrack. Should we go there?
Yes. Shrek 1 and 2. That is. But and it's funny, when you mentioned this song too, I was brought back to your mother as well, who used to be in charge of the morning announcements at school. And I remember that whether it was this song or it might have been Run, Run Away.
Oh, she loved Run,
yes.
Run Away.
Yeah,
probably that
like
one.
Great
Yeah.
Big Sea was always a staple on the morning announcements.
Right, which again, you would think this would have infiltrated my childhood somewhere, but no, I don't know. Who wants to listen to their parents' music?
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
I think that must have been it. Yeah.
but it was nice to see multiple generations in the family have excellent taste.
There you go.
Well, a huge thank you for coming today, Michelle. And
Thank you for
until
having
next
me.
time.
Yeah, until the 1003rd album, I guess.
This has been the 1002nd Album Podcast. Thanks for sharing some of your time, energy, and attention with us today. Take care.